Beatle, and I confessed that I usually lie and say George Harrison's my favorite because it's actually Paul McCartney, and that's kind of embarrassing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So go ahead now that you've had time to think about it.
So my favorite early Lennon song is "If I Fell" off of "Hard Day's Night," which is a beautiful duet. It's kind of an early. It's the same thematic material as "Don't Let Me Down." So you can look at those two songs as kind of bookends. It's an early version of the same thing. How scary it is to fall in love, and "Don't Let Me Down" is a bookend, a late career song of the same thing. It's also a beautiful duet with Paul McCartney. I mean the beauty of those two voices blending, I've always prized in that song in particular. A middle period song, I would go with, Norwegian Wood. I know we've already talked about it. That has always been an intriguing song to me. So simple and yet so poetic. So many different layers of meaning going on in the song, and it's very artfully wrought. It's not a sentimental song by any means, and you get a great picture of how hurt this guy was by this affair that he has. And whether it's a real affair, whether it's just an emotional affair, you get a real idea of the depth of pain that the singer is in just through these very simple gestures in the song. And for a late period song, I have to, so here's where I'll go with McCartney is, there's one of my favorite records as a kid was "You Know My Name, Look Up the Number." People know this song. If you don't know it, go get Past Masters. It's on the singles collection. It was the B-side of Let It Be. And so it was one of my first records that I ever had. And again, it was like, this is the biggest band in the history of rock and roll, and the B-side was a complete novelty number where they did fake voices, and they went from lounge singer to old granny singing gibberish, and just this weird setup of a song. It's a non-song. It's a piece of weird absurdity. It's just comic. It's like the Marx Brothers on hashish. And it's just Paul and John alone in the studio just having a laugh. But it's the strangest, funniest record, and I still love that record. I still think, and it shows you their commitment to goofiness and silliness and absurdity and novelty records. They adored novelty records, and this is their version of a great novelty record.
They're very interesting choices.